Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nearly Music, where I, O'Neill Donald, talk about music, life, and fun. And it's about that time. Yes, that's right. This is Tori Kelly Week, and I am going to be reviewing Tori Kelly's brand new album, Unbreakable Smile. I have been waiting for this album for a very long time. And I don't even necessarily mean in just the sense of Tori Kelly, but I have been waiting for an album that is this honest, that is this excellent musically, that just combines all of the different facets that I love about music into one. I've really been waiting for an album like this. And listening to it was an extreme honor and pleasure to hear from somebody that is just so transparent, that is just so talented. Like Tori Kelly, she just popped out of nowhere with her YouTube channel, and from there has transitioned into this major label debut that is absolutely insane. It's absolutely nuts. In fact, as I get into my notes, I have a lot of notes. I might even just put up a picture of them because there's a lot of notes that I have on this album that is just it's just amazing. I really wanted to make sure that this review was on time because this album is so amazing, and I really wanted to talk to you about just how amazing it is. And um, just off of the bat, like her voice, Tori Kelly's voice is absolutely it's out of this world. It's rare, and there's so many things about it that you can just tell that Tori Kelly is just this person that is I guess one in a million when it comes to her voice. And the way that it was showcased in the album definitely it brings that out. However, like in the way that it's done, it allows for so much room for Tori Kelly to improve and to continue on with what she's already done here live. So when she gets to a live show, she doesn't have to sing the exact run that's on the album. She can play with it because there's space for that. And I think that was really knit into the production, and I love that. One thing about Unbreakable Smile that I absolutely love is that it seems like the producers, the writers, everyone who worked with Tori Kelly, it seems like Tori Kelly brought together all the aspects of production and writing. Where in pop music there can be a lot of spaces between them, especially because a lot of producers will make beats and then writers will write on top of the beats. A lot of the time there can be a disconnect, but because Tori Kelly's a musician, I just felt like listening to this album from top to bottom, it was just so united. Like all of the production was married to the lyrics. Like it didn't try to outshine or overbear, and I'm so pleased with that. I know that's not something that you usually hear, and I was really, 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 really pleased with that. From top to, I don't think I've heard an album in a very long time. And by that, I mean like an actual album that's not simply showcasing a person's abilities, but it actually has a message, and it actually has a topic and a cohesion all the way throughout. You can tell that each song, it sounds like it belongs to the full sound that is Unbreakable Smile. And the way that the lyrics are written, you can just tell everything, it belongs to one another. And albums don't really come like that anymore. And actually, mark my words, I'm actually going to call this, and I'm going to say that Tori Kelly's going to win Album of the Year at the Grammys for this. I wasn't sure when I did my Should Have Been Us review, but I'm now absolutely sure that she's going to win. Like she's actually going to win, and I say that because this album is it's just so rare of something that's absolutely rare. And in fact, let me just help you with some of the mechanics of it. Let's see. Yeah. So as I said in the Should Have Been Us video, this Tori Kelly style is pop that's been dipped in neo soul. So to give you a picture of that, you could take Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, and Chrisette Michele, and join it with Christina Aguilera and Pink. And then you would get a little bit of what Tori Kelly is. It's not fully there, and then maybe a little bit of Ariana Grande for those of you that don't know those artists. But just vocally, like she's a monster, an absolute monster, an alien even. There's no filler tracks on the album, and that's a huge statement for an album, because usually when albums come out, you know that you have the singles and then you have all the songs that you like, and then you have some of these tracks that are just like, there's no filler tracks on this album. And each song is crafted with intent, and each song has a purpose from beginning to end. Each song has its own purpose, and it really helps that Tori Kelly has this very transparent writing style. She writes with such she just gives herself to her audience, and she doesn't put on a mask, and she doesn't sing from a mask, but she totally gives herself in the way that she's writing. She speaks transparently, and she sings from the heart, and I really love that about it. Another great thing about the album is that there's a super like a super distinction between the singles and between the album content. And usually someone may not say that that would be a positive thing, but I really think it does. From Nobody Love, Should Have Been Us, Expensive, and Unbreakable Smile, they have this radio sound. Like I would even leave out Unbreakable Smile in that. There is this big production with like lots of kick drums, and lots of like really powerful kick drums rather, and the way that her vocals are arranged, she's singing really high in her range and doing things that want to grab the listener's ear and want to make them buy the album. That is only $6.99. Yeah. um, uh, Tori Kelly's vocal delivery is not even just the fact that she's a master at her voice, but the way that she delivers it like a songwriter. So she'll sing. If you were to listen to which song it was, Expensive. Expensive has this vocal delivery that is sassy, it has attitude, and it's unapologetic. Even on Unbreakable Smile as well. Like she has this rap singing style that she'll go into sometimes that really pushes the lyrics to the front. And that's another thing that's great about this album, is that the lyrics are the show, not the singer and not the production. And in fact, the way that Tori Kelly sings, she only sings in ways that will magnify her lyric. And because of that, I am a super fan of Tori Kelly, because I'm a songwriter, and I like, the whole thing about telling your story and not necessarily having your singing doing all the talking, or having the music do all the talking, but actually having lyrics that matter. And because Tori Kelly is an amazing songwriter, she doesn't have to hide any of that. Of course, Tori Kelly's runs are clear and they're precise. She doesn't do a lot, and she's a very controlled vocalist. You can even tell. Like, she's not even giving you everything that she can do. I'm sure that's for the live show, which I'm seeing on the 30th of June. Yeah, holla. You can tell that she goes from these very soft points in her voice to these very strong moments. So, like, say, I guess Expensive, where she's singing very, 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 very strongly, and then down to I Was Made for Loving You, where she's very compact and where she's very soft. And even Beautiful Things, which is a bonus track. I usually don't talk about the bonus tracks, but Beautiful Things, another great example where she pulls back. From a production standpoint, her higher harmonies, when she's doing again, Inexpensive, and I think it's time you figured it out. The second time she does it, she has this very high harmony, and it's precise and it's clear, and it's not auto-tuned. That's another thing that I super love about Tori Kelly, is that if you listen to the way that the vocals were doubled, if there's auto-tune, it's very, very little, and she's a master at doubling. And like, you can, cause like, I don't know, you could just hear the difference in the pitches, and you can tell that it wasn't vocally corrected, but that what am I trying to say? She's just such an amazing an amazing doubler when it comes to choruses. When it comes to choruses, the singer not only sings once, twice, but usually a few times, and you can hear all of them in your ear, and you can hear the individual nuances that are different. You can tell that she puts work in to her singing. She's an absolute master. And in places that are in songs that aren't singles, such as like City Duff and like Funny, which is a live song, and also let me pull up the track list. And also First Heartbreak. You get Tori Kelly singing choruses more than once, and when you get her singing those choruses more than once, she brings like different nuances that she didn't have in the prior chorus. But she just continues to build and build and build, and just amazing work that she does vocally, and these a lot of nuances that usually people wouldn't pick up, but I did. For the production, again, it just really serves the lyric. It doesn't get in the way. The chord progressions are very R&B. There's a lot of minor seventh chords, and that really brings out a lot of distinction. Another thing that makes this album sound different is its heavy use of acoustic guitar, and of course Tori Kelly's in her upbringing and her YouTube, everyone would know her for her acoustic guitar, and it's great that they included that in her debut album, and it just brings for this different side of neo soul R&B that we don't usually hear, because we're usually hearing like piano and Rhodes. We hear the Rhodes in Falling Slow, but it's a really great tinge and a really great deviation from the norm, which I really like. Again, this album comes back to real instruments, just the same way that Tori Kelly's voice is authentic throughout the entire album. You have electric basses, acoustic guitars, and Rhodes, and just like electric guitars, and just different sounds that are organic. And I just the fact that this album is an R&B album with a very organic sound brings us back to like the old days, where R&B used to be, I guess even if you want to say back into like the 1930s, when you had like, I guess like I can't remember what they were called, but the race records, where you had like Thomas Dorsey, who was Georgia Tom at the time, and you have like all of these, like you have organic sounds, like people that are actually singing, people that are actually playing, and you can feel that throughout the album. Um, uh, let's see what else. There are a lot of drops, and I've seen a huge abuse of the drop from electronic music, that pop music is really picking up now, where like you know there will be a drop and like the instruments will carry on, but there are some really great drops in the production that really lift the lyrics, and they don't take away. Um, for if getting really nerdy right now, but the snares throughout the album are constantly very dark, and like they sound dark. They're never really bright, and it really makes for I guess that R&B feel, but it also it really contrasts to Tori Kelly's light and high voice, which is really great. Again, the lyrics are the start of the show. Tori Kelly wrote on every song, which is a huge statement to her ability as a writer, as a songwriter, and it shows that her label trusts her, and that gives her some creative space to be able to continue to grow as an artist and to continue to try new things. Tori Kelly writes with a very transparent, as I said, transparent perspective. The lyrics are genuinely hers. You can tell it's her voice, her lyrical voice, not necessarily her singing voice, but her lyrical voice is strong, and it's there are so many drop mic moments in the entire album, like the in Unbreakable Smile, like the God made me sexy, I don't care if only I know, I'm already expensive enough, turn that gold into to dust, fly between the buildings and fences on City Duff, like just amazing lyrical mechanics on this album. Like she is just a beast, an absolute beast, from top to bottom. Love you, Tori Kelly. And she flees from cliches. Like, one thing that I can't stand in writing is just that cliche, oh, I love you, you love me. And none of the songs here are cliche. And if she does have a cliche, the production is what, like, a different approach to the production is what allows for it not to be corny. For example, in Expensive, where she goes, and I think money don't buy love. No, your money don't buy love. Just like the way that the claps are going, and just it's really groovy, and it really takes away from what could have been cliche. Love that. I'm really running over time here, but I got some highlight tracks, 3 highlight tracks, and these aren't necessarily my favorite songs, because like there's just so much to cover over the entire album. But if I were to choose three that I would want to highlight, I would highlight Expensive, which I've already talked about, which might be my favorite. I don't know. My favorite is gonna shift. But First Heartbreak and I Was Made for Loving You. Now with Expensive, I just love the riff, the guitar riff, and the way that it was introduced, and then the way that the riff was taken out and the beat is introduced, and then and the way that the riff comes back in to drive the groove. Absolutely amazing. And just masterful production. Her vocal performance, full of attitude and it's unapologetic. And in the form of the song, when she gets into like the end of the pre-chorus, and then she extends the last phrase. She repeats it. Different lyrics, but she continues it. And think it's time you figured it out. And then she does that run going up. I was like, amazing. But like the extension of that phrase really caught my ear, and I really enjoyed that. On First Heartbreak, the rhymes, they just create an emphasis that is just the icing on the cake. Just just even hearing First Heartbreak in the chorus, every time she sings it, again with the chorus being sung over and over, instead of it being just a copy and paste, she's singing it over and over, and each time there's just so much more emphasis, and the bridge in that song is absolute brilliance. Like I just love like the way she gets into it and the way that it's performed, and just the strings and just the way, amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, I could not ignore I Was Made for Loving You. Tori, Tori Kelly's an amazing vocalist, but she's an even better duetter, if that's a word. Because the way that she came with Ed Sheeran, because Ed Sheeran was singing low in his range, wasn't really doing a lot of his usual runs and things like that. Love Ed Sheeran. But she serves his performance. She feeds off of him and says, "I'm not going to be doing my usual stuff. I'm going to sit lower my voice as well." And that really made for just an amazing song. The lyrics are absolutely well written. It's almost like it almost kind of feels like The Matrix when you're listening to the song, because you got this fast guitar, amazing performance. It feels a lot like Ed Sheeran was playing himself, and it's very magical and ethereal. And you have that fast pace, but it's going against this time signature that's a little slower. So you got the I was made for loving you, and it just feels like a waltz, just absolutely magical. Hopeless hearts passing through this, and that's a lyric that I really like. And it reminds me of another one of my favorite artists, Brooke Fraser. That song specifically, it reminds me of it's called "Who Are We Fooling" with Aqualung, and that's a great track if you want to go and see that. But again, from Talk to City Dove to The Art of Letting Go, I think my favorite part of the album is the very middle, where you get into like City Dove and Talk, and just so many things that I could talk about, but I'm already like 18 minutes in. But just in general, Tori Kelly is an artist with vision, and you can hear that she's absolutely bearing her soul, giving herself away, even from the top of the album with Where I Belong. You can tell that she put her heart and soul into it, and it makes me so happy to hear that in pop music today. And she got, and what's even better is that she has an amazing album, but she also got some great production, some great marketing with Scooter Braun and just his team and everybody. Like, they did an amazing job with the social media and timing the release, timing the tour, everything. Her appearances on award shows like the Billboard Music Awards, and just yesterday the MMVAs. She's gonna really, really blow up with this, and I can't wait to see the Grammys pay attention to her like this. So yeah, that's the end of my review of Tori Kelly's Unbreakable Smile. This is a 20-minute video, but I really don't care. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue to talk to me about it, you can subscribe to my page, or you can follow me at Neily Music, Neily Music, and we can continue to talk. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about it. Tell me what you think. Okay, see you later, guys, and girls, because not everyone's guys. Love you guys. Love you all. Bye.